fight to hold our heads up high and beat the drum to what we love. Risk the follow, we have felt it all come crashing down from far above. Stars are rising, countless worlds colliding, only one will take it all. Can we bring to fall the giants? Can we make the final call? We are the ones to ignite the darkened skies, the champions of the world that we defy. A soul ray of the few who rise up high, and we all fight at the last light.
All right, and welcome everybody to Season 6, Week 5 of the Rekt League. I am here, Sable, joined by Darth Ted. How you doing, Ted?
I'm doing great. It was a fantastic, nice and sunny day, and I'm ready to spend some time watching the Rec League.
Hell yeah, brother. We got Ocean versus Sentinels here to open up the day for the 4 p.m. match, and I'm pretty excited to watch this one.
Yeah, honestly, it's halfway through the season already. We're getting on to week 5. Teams are going to start to make playoffs, and teams are going to. The bottom two teams right now are Raptors and Sentinels. And if they don't start to pick up wins, they're not going to be in the running anymore. So we're going to need to see them pick it up this week.
Yes, we will, and they're up against Ocean, one of the teams that's looking very strong right now. Not going to be an easy match for Sentinels, but they're certainly equipped to be able to play up against them on the Rift today and maybe surprise them with an upset.
Yeah, and they really need to just look through their main player, Mouse Amazing, who will be in the mid lane this matchup, looking to, use that elo advantage over Phoenix Z to full effect.
Yeah, he is against Phoenix Z in the mid lane. Looks like we're here in the lobby. Gonna see if the players are ready to send it over to Champ Select. We can get this started.
Yeah, and Sentinels also made a lot of different changes, right? They're putting Hatsu 5 in the jungle as normal and MK Heat as support. And then every other player pretty much switched it up. Hey Dude 5 is going to be going into the top lane, Mouse Amazing in mid, and I Tucker L as AD carry. So we're going to see some either spicy picks or just some interesting matchups.
So they have Tucker as AD carry, but in the lobby, I'm seeing him here hovering on the support role. I'm not sure
Yeah, they do that.
if they're just doing that to just throw him off, just because they know they can swap it around and they're trying to get any kind of advantage they can get. But looks like Sentinels is ready to go. Still waiting on the R from Ocean, but I'm super excited for this matchup because, like you said, Sentinels swapping everything around. Kind of here on the brink of whether or not they're going to be able to make playoffs. Um, Maybe a little bit of a last-ditch effort to kind of see if they can reinvigorate some of that Sentinels energy from last season with Hot Soup 5 back in the jungle, Mouse Mazing in the mid lane now. And I believe Tucker was mid lane last season, so. Or was he AD carry last? I think they actually did a lot of switching last season too. I remember seeing Tucker on Ezreal a lot.
Yeah, Tucker's played AD carry a couple of times in the Rec League, but it's been random weeks. I think they're just playing towards the matchup, and he's pretty proficient on the role. When he first came in, I think you're right. He was an Ezreal pretty much one main.
Yeah, and his Ezreal looks so sick. I wouldn't be
Yeah, it
surprised
does.
to see Ocean throw a ban that way. But looks like we're getting in the game here, in the Champ Select rather. We're gonna see what Ocean do end up banning against Sentinels here for this first match. I would assume the Ezreal does get taken away from Tucker. He looked really proficient on that champion.
If anyone actually remembers him playing it.
Yeah, which they should. He made an impression on me with that champion. Looked extremely clean. Although there are other Sentinels members who are known for certain champions. One of them being Hot Soup 5 for that Kha'Zix.
Yeah, and I think the Kha'Zix is definitely a good takeaway. Just allowing for or not allowing for Hatsu 5 to have a comfort champ who he normally pops off in the early game on. It's pretty smart.
Yeah, and the classic CLG Worthy Dust Thresh ban. I think almost every game it's been banned. And the one game they actually didn't ban it, he didn't actually choose to pick it. He opted to go with the Leona. Was feeling hot on that one, and they take away another hook champion in the Blitzcrank.
Which last week he showed a real proficiency on. Just those hook champs are really, really deadly, especially when you have players that aren't as highly, don't have as high as elo. Just don't have the mechanics to dodge.
Yeah, it can be very punishing, especially if people aren't used to that range change in the Blitzcrank hook. It is a lot longer now, towards the end of the skill shot, obviously, so it can catch you by surprise sometimes. And the last ban looks like it'll be Phoenix's Galio taken off the board, which that's been almost every game Phoenix has looked to play that Galio. I believe a few times was Nico as well. I'm not sure if there was a Malzahar in there, but definitely a strong takeaway.
Yeah, and it really does. Putting him on something squishier like the Nico is going to be where Sentinels want to focus, right? Because Mouse Magazine is such a fantastic player, and he can really, really upset skill deficiencies. He's going to be able to abuse matchups really, really well, and I wonder what he has into the Nico.
Yeah, the kid is sick, and they lock in the Nico almost immediately, as we're talking about it here. So really kind of demonstrating that they want Phoenix on either one of these two champions, and Sentinels will lock the Maokai which could be a flex to the support, jungle, or top lane role. So I like that pick early. We've seen a lot of it in the jungle here in the Rekt League, notably from Mountain with 420 Blaze It Nerd pulling it out, but most commonly known as a top laner.
Yeah, I think it's most likely going into the top lane, although Hey Dude 5 definitely is proficient on both the set and the Alawi, so it could be a flex. But I think getting him onto a giant tank to fight Rubber Band Man is probably a very smart call.
Yeah, Rubber Band Man has been looking extremely strong. Nets advantages by himself in most of these lanes, so just getting Hey Dude 5 on something that can kind of equalize the lane, prevent a lot of that kill pressure from Rubber Band Man from coming through, like the Maokai, is definitely a good pickup, and the Urgot will be locked in, assuming for Rubber Band Man there in the top lane.
Yeah, and Urgot's just so strong. We saw a bunch of different teams pop off on it. Mr. Neat played it really well in the mid lane, so we could see a flex. But it's most likely going into the top lane with that Silas pickup.
So we have a Silas lock-in, Ted, and
going
Nico
jungle.
and Urgot were already picked, so this could just be a straight-up Silas jungle from Vash the Stampede.
That's what it seems like, and the Trundle wasn't banned away, so choosing just to pick something new instead of going for the comfort.
Huh.
I like it.
I love it. I love Silas as a champion. He's really fun to play in the jungle. Is a little bit weaker in the jungle than in the solo lanes, obviously. There's some tricks you can do to keep your clear pretty healthy. You tag the AoE camps while you walk by them if you're not going to do them right then, with the talisman that will sustain you as they aggro you, and they opt to ban the Trundle anyway.
Yeah, well, one thing we kind of missed was this Nico pick could be a flex to 80 carry as well. We saw Jmu play it quite a bit.
That's true.
And he absolutely dumpstered air with it. It was such a nice flex. So they could be going that route if they wanted to.
Yeah. Seems kind of weird to pick Nico as a flex and then pick two solo lane champions. But like we said, it could be the Silas going into the jungle. But yeah, Ocean's flexing on him right now. I don't know what they're doing here.
I would be a little concerned for the just damage profile if they do send the Nico to 80 carry. Just because they're most likely going to be playing an AP mid laner. If the Silas does go jungle, then they're just going to be throwing pretty much 3 AP carries into a Maokai.
It's true. They could take something like the Senna support in this situation, which honestly
Nico
synergizes
Senna,
pretty
oh
well.
God.
Pretty
That'd be
good
so
with
weird.
with Silas Urgot, keeping him alive in the team fights. But up into Morgana Caitlyn, it's a very strong bot lane. A lot of oppression and ability to just CC someone, chain CC, and do a lot of damage as well. So we see a Graves hover. Switch to the Shyvana at the last second, so I'm going to assume it's going to be a Shyvana jungle with the Maokai headed to the top lane, and they're just holding mid for the counter pick.
Yeah, and I think we've seen both types of Shyvanas from Hatsu, the AD and the AP. So I'd be interested to see which way this one goes.
Yeah, I'm not sure which one's actually better right now. I think the AD one might be stronger in the top lane. Kind of going for the Death's Dance Bruisery build.
Hey.
The team over. Not sure if that's going to be the one there. That would be hilarious.
Oh no, don't do it. Yumi pickup for the support. CLG worthy does putting a couple of games on that. Just kidding. And they're doing Yumi Garen bot lane.
Ooh.
Or is it Yumi Garen or Yumi Nico maybe?
So I feel like that almost
I don't
has
know.
to be an Urgot jungle with a Silas top lane. Or just the Silas jungle like we mentioned before. But I am very interested
I'm so
by
confused right now.
Ocean's draft right now. All pretty
Alright.
close range champions into a Maokai, Morgana, Caitlyn, who can kind of just prevent them from walking at them. But let's see where they end up going.
Yeah, you picking a Yumi Garen bot lane into a Caitlyn Morgana just feels
That's
very
some hubris
bad.
right there.
That is some extreme hubris. Just because, I mean, Morgana binding is very slow, but it's really easy to hit when a Garen's just going to run straight at you.
Yeah.
And Caitlyn has such intense range that being able to poke down this Garen is going to be really, really easy. And I mean, Yumi does put out a lot of healing, which will counter a lot of the DPS, but it's just not going to be enough. Plus, with the traps from Caitlyn, this lane is just going to be really, really bad for the Garen Yumi. Unless they can get some pretty clean ganks off with Thatch Stampede.
And unfortunately, Silas's early gank pressure into something like a Morgana Caitlyn isn't that great. So I think a lot of the onus will be on Vash's Stampede to try to make some of these ganks work here in the bot lane, to try to net an advantage for the Garen Yuumi early on, so they can be that oppressive lane that everybody knows and hates. But I don't know. It's very interesting to see Vash on a jungler like this, like the Sylas, who haven't really seen him. I mean, haven't checked his OPGG. Don't know if he's put in a lot of games into it, but pretty used to seeing him on these like tanky junglers who can have an early impact like the Trundle. But I like the diversity coming out from Ocean here.
Yeah, and I mean, I guess Vash Stampede was before he moved to the jungle role was known greatly for his Nautilus support. And I mean, Silas kind of has the same hook.
It's
He just
I
hits
mean,
it, it goes in. It's kind of the same thing.
yeah, it's a line skill
So-
shot that CCs somebody if we're gonna.
Yeah,
we're
and it
gonna
drags him in closer. So I'm assuming he's going to do well on it.
Nautilus's
I'm
hook
just-
skill shot is so ridiculously wide at the
That is
tip.
true.
It searches for a target at the end of the skill shot.
I'm just very concerned for this bot lane from Ocean.
I am too. I think that I highly prefer Sentinels draft in this situation. They went for standard. They kind of betted on Ocean doing something fucky.
Yeah, I
And
mean-
they won out on that bet. So I mean, if they can just play the game with standard lanes and not have any of these like weird crazy fights that like the Garen Yuumi are gonna want to have with the Sylas, you kind of have to play Sylas like a madman when you're playing him.
Late
You have
game-
to limit test.
Late game Garen Yuumi is so oppressive. You run up to somebody, QE, and then walk away, and you heal pretty much for your full health right after the exchange. So the split push potential from this Garen is going to be absolutely insane. The issue is, I think Sentinels are just going to be able to bully him out of lane with Tucker on 80 carry because we know he's such a skilled player, right? He hasn't been looking great in the mid lane just because he would get a lead and then throw it away by diving a turret. It's going to be a lot harder to do on a Caitlyn. So I'm expecting a lot of just a big early lead coming out of the Sentinels bot lane. And with a good Caitlyn player, you can just take that and roll over a game.
Yeah. No, I 100% agree. And I mean, they have the scaling options with the Shyvana, with the Malzahar. Maokai just gets tankier and tankier as the game goes on. And having not really a ranged champion that's going to be able to kill Maokai towards the later stage of the game, even the Shyvana if she gets tanky, it's going to be very difficult for Ocean to actually play these team fights if they don't have a standard 80 carry that can actually shred this front line that's looking pretty beefy so far from Sentinels with the Maokai Shyvana. So
Yeah,
I
and-
am concerned.
I just think it's really weird, right? Ocean normally go into these games playing a very clear front to back team fight style.
hmm
And against the team who's shown to be very weak into that style, they choose to switch it up. I don't know. Maybe they're just trying to have fun and do them, which I mean is true to the Ocean style.
Yeah, I mean,
I don't
they're-
like their draft at all.
they're staying on brand here, Ted, with their style. They're picking stuff that they think is fun and they just want to play it.
No, I know what it is. Rubber Band Man got a skin for Pajama Urgot, and Jmu also got a Demacia Vice Garen skin.
I hate that
just came
Urgot
out,
skin.
So they just wanted to play the skins that they have.
He has like
That's
an
really what it
actual
is.
he has an actual like human face. That's like scarier than like the regular Urgot. I don't
mean,
like it at all.
The regular guy has a human face. He just has like tubes and stuff.
Yeah, but it's like
covering it with
bloated and
paint.
shit, like undead and shit. This one looks like a normal like I don't like it. It's like creepy. I'm not a
Just
fan.
a fat man in pajamas. I think it's pretty funny.
Picks already happened, and we were in the spectator delay.
Yeah. Some people like to see the spectator delay even with a 3-minute countdown. We haven't really decided on what to do for that. So this
All
game's going to
good.
be interesting.
Yeah,
I'm curious to see if we're going to see any like level 1 hype. Probably not
from
with the
who?
Garen Yuumi.
From Sentinels. Uptown Cord with the subscribe. Thank you very much. All right, and let's get into game here, boys.
That bug. Do you get that now? Whenever you jump into a game and you start pressing buttons, it just gives you the Windows error.
Yeah, I have to like click over.
Yeah, Alt tab out and then click back in.
Yeah, it's annoying.
Ryan, man, what are you doing?
Well, let's see if it gives it to me here. It's not giving it to me.
No, it's good. This is why we had you host instead of me.
Oh yeah. Also,
Sounds
this
just annoying.
this start is taking a lot longer than normal. That was kind of weird, little delay there. But we're getting in a game now. Like you said, level 1 shenanigans. Let's see if any happen. We see some pings going down from the blue side. Looks like Ocean does want to fan out and watch these entrances. Don't want to check into a Morgana and Caitlyn.
Yeah, it's pretty smart from them. It looks like Sentinels are doing the same thing. Just kind of fanning out. I think it's safe to say that Sentinels shouldn't be scared of an invade from this Ocean lineup.
30 seconds until
No, they really shouldn't. I mean, I don't really think Sentinels has to be worried about too much in this game. They have a winning bottom lane right now. Garen has Ignite. That's a little bit scary. They have a top lane that can pretty much just go even. There is kill pressure from the Urgot onto the Maokai for a good portion of the early game, but their jungle, Shyvana playing the jungle correctly and cycling her camps correctly in this game is going to outpace the Sylas heavily. Her clear is so much faster than Sylas's and so much healthier as well. Even just if we look at her not having a resource bar like the mana bar that Sylas has. And then Mouse Mazing in the mid lane on this Malzahar, a pick that he has shown a few times before. But you were talking about the skill discrepancy in the mid lane and how we expect him to pop off. I think this is going to be his time to shine.
Yeah, the one good thing for Ocean, though, is they've been winning games through getting a Fascist Stampede, having a lot of strong early pathing, and being able to set up very effective and efficient ganks. And his playstyle in the jungle has just been absolutely amazing. So we'll have to watch him to see if he can actually create anything.
He's so low already, though, after just this red buff. Finishing with about half HP. Let's see if he tags the Raptor camp. Does not to get that health back while he walks by. Unfortunately, not using that little trick you can do with the talisman there. And I'm surprised Yumi actually didn't hop on him to help him out with the leash, with the heals. But pretty
maybe
standard
just a
start.
little unfamiliarity with a couple of these champions from Ocean.
I love that Garen skin. I wonder if he got that from the what was that, the Rekt event we did? I can't remember the name.
I'm not sure which one.
We
you're
had those
talking
like
about,
the silly game modes like the ARAM and the Dolnar dash
Oh
and
yeah,
stuff.
yeah.
And the Demacia Vice Garen skin was one of the prizes.
Gotcha. I do not know. We'll have to ask him after the game. Top lane for Ocean, though, should be a winning matchup. Rubber Band Man, I mean, just Urgot in general is really good into tank matchups. So I think this was a smart pick from them.
Yeah, I love to see that. And I'm honestly surprised that Tucker and MK Heat aren't trying to put down a little more harass onto this bottom lane of the Garen Yumi here. Trading an auto there, but taking a good amount of damage back from the Prowling Projectile.
And that was a wide Q from the Morgana right there.
Yeah, it looked like she was maybe aiming for the Yumi while she was on Garen. Maybe expecting her to jump off, try to tank it or something. Just barely missed the Yumi there. That actually might have been Yumi being pretty squishy. Has to watch out for these bindings.
If she gets hit by one binding, you put a K-trap underneath it, and then that Yumi's just dead, being such a squishy champion.
Yeah, CLG Worthy does playing this one kind of close here. Barely dodging some of these bindings as they get shoved into tower. Are going to miss a good amount of the CS.
It's just such good poke coming out from the Caitlyn. This auto attack so present.
Dashes top lane, gets the stun down. Flashes down from Hey Dude 5. Does get the knockback. I don't think the red... He didn't have red buff, rather, Vash Stampede anymore. So unfortunately, not able to finish that one off. Hey Dude 5's flash being burned now. He's going to have to recall. Or actually, he looks like he's sticking around in the top lane. I don't really think Rubber Band Man can actually kill him here into the tower. Decent amount of damage back.
That passive from Maokai just healed him up so much there. You saw it right as the gank came in. He hit the passive and was able to heal up to sustain himself. Plus with that corrupting potion. Just really kind of well played from Haydu being able to escape that. But again, good gank from Vash Stampede blowing the flash. But Rubber Band Man also blew his.
There goes that binding on Yumi that we talked about, and a lot of damage traded back on a Jemu here in the bottom lane. Sitting about half HP. We'll be able to sustain that back up as he is Garen. And the Yuumi provides some healing as well. Vash's Stampede actually counter jungling here. A camp up in the top side will manage to take the Krugs away from Shyvana, which is a large time investment from the jungler for the side of Ocean, but he's going to be spotted out. Getting roamed on here. Vash's Stampede has to be a little bit careful. Does get knocked back. Might get taken out here. Does have the flash available, but the flash from Hot Soup 5 right after. First blood actually going to the Urgot as Vash now rooted up. Mouse Mason should be able to pick this one up in the middle of the fight. Hot Soup 5 going to take it dangerously low as well, and Phoenix gets a kill too. So overall, 1 kill apiece for the solo laners of Ocean Drake as Hey Dude 5 just stepping up a little too far, but fortunately Mouse Amazing with the roam.
Yeah, and Nico actually roamed up first, so I think Sentinels were lucky to get a kill there. It was unfortunate that Hatsu 5 on the Shyvana just doesn't have a lot to do before she's level 6. He just can't really follow up with any of these counter ganks.
Yeah, just kind of had to walk at him. I'd like to see Hot Soup just starting to power farm here. With his solo lanes getting put into a little bit of a deficit, I don't really think you want to spend a lot of time trying to gank against the Nico and the Urgot. Just power farm, get your AP jungle item, and then look to fight around an objective.
Good sniff out here from MK Heat and Tucker. They had a pink ward in the Tribush, so Stylus definitely wasn't spotted, and they just ended up backing out. They saw Silas hit that blast or the Scryer's Bloom, so they walk up to clear the pink ward and feel safe to step up and pressure again.
Yeah, and that's really good awareness too, is just knowing when you see other players on the map, if someone hits a Scryer's, it has to be the one that you didn't see on the map. So good awareness by them. They do see Vash coming down over a ward that they just placed after clearing that pink ward. Crucially, Phoenix's teleport is now down. Used it to get back to the mid lane. So that will be teleport advantage for Sentinels with Mouse Amazing and Hey Dude 5 both having theirs available.
Yeah, Mouse Amazing is level 6, does have the ultimate up, that Nether Grasp. So I'm looking to see Hot Soup try to find something on TL Phoenix.
Yeah, I don't even know if it's worth it at this point, right? With the Shyvana only sitting on just Dini level 5 now, not quite having that jungle item completed. I really think that just farming for that jungle item is going to be more important than trying to look for a maybe gank in the mid lane with a mid laner that still has flash up. I think going for these objective fights is going to be a little bit better for Sentinels in this case, as Shyvana taking the blue buff now.
Is looking to sneak this early Drake. With all the pressure in the bot lane, I mean, they should have this pretty much for free. But one thing to notice is Hatsu 5 actually bought a Sapphire Crystal, which Shyvana doesn't have any mana, so that's pretty much just a waste of money. But it does scream to me that Shyvana's most likely going to be going for that AP build.
Yes, that is the ideal build right now in the jungle for Shyvana. It does get the dragon, gives him an extra little bit of armor, I believe, still. So that's going to be feeling pretty good on him. And yeah, Shyvana, if that first base you only have like 350 to 400 gold, I mean, you could buy boots. I'm not sure if he went magical boots in the runes, and that's why he didn't buy the boots. But maybe just prioing and getting that jungle item done faster.
Sorry, I'm checking up his runes right now. Doesn't look like he went magical boots.
Interesting.
Oh, yep, no, he did go magical footwear.
Okay, that's the only thing that would have made sense to me there.
Yeah, that makes sense.
See a bit of a CS lead starting to build for Rubber Band Man in the top lane, which is kind of his MO, usually out farming his opponents. Hey Dude 5 has to be a little careful, sitting pretty and Rubber Band Man does have that ultimate available, and the flash just coming off cooldown. Shyvana not outpacing the Sylas nearly as much as I expected her to in this game, though all of her camps are still up right now. She can just try to hard farm these and try to keep up the pace on the Sylas, who will fall behind in farm if Shyvana is able to keep clearing her camps efficiently. And in the bot lane, pretty large, about 2-wave lead now, built for the Caitlyn, which we did expect.
I'll say, I kind of want to go back and talk about this Hot Soup 5 build. Going AP Shyvana into this team comp, into a Garen Yuumi, who's just going to be able to heal up all that damage you put out with your ultimate EQ, probably isn't smart. I think going for the AD, more sustained style of damage would have been a lot better.
I can see the logic, because if they're going to be healing a lot over time through fights, you want to try to burst them out, as opposed to just fighting them continually for a long time. So the flash comes down. Tucker's flash is burned. The Black Shield was there. Teleport coming down as well from Rubber Band Man to get to this bottom lane. MK Heat having the flash available. Doesn't have Nimbus Cloak, though. Going to get flipped back over and will get taken down by Rubber Band Man. Getting some gold for his TP being utilized. Unfortunately, all summoners down for the bot lane and only assists granted to them as Rubber Band Man does end up sniping that kill. And Tucker has to be pretty careful under this tower. The Urgot honestly might have been able to... Oh, the ultimate's down. And Tucker actually just straight up... just dying there into the tower, but a 1-for-1. As
honestly,
Hatsu 5
just
doing so much damage now to Vash, though, with the red buff coming in, with sitting on the E, and Phoenix was getting caught out by Mouse Mazing. One more auto attack is going to do it here for Mouse Mazing to pick up that kill, and does get the kill, so bloodbath all over the board. 4-4 now, only a 200 gold lead for Ocean as Sentinels answer back.
Yeah, and that's such a good play from Sentinels, right? It was a little misstep from Tucker in the earlier play, taking a tower shot and letting Jmu get on top of him while NK Heat was getting vision. But then the turnaround was just absolutely insane and ended up picking up 3 for 2 in the total trade. So the gold leads evened out 16k apiece. It's a close game on our hands.
Yeah, this is very close. My only concern now for the side of Sentinels is this Maokai's ability to continue to gain gold. I think it would be bad of Ocean Drake right now to kind of try to take this Herald and utilize it top lane, because they want to be able to keep Maokai in this lane against Urgot with that tower still up, so keep denying him farm. If they end up taking that tower down, Maokai can freeze the lane back a little further towards his side of the jungle and kind of safely CS, but he's going to have a really hard time keeping up in farm right now with how huge this Urgot is.
I don't think that's necessarily bad, because then you can send Urgot to other lanes and pressure things like the dragon and stop that Shyvana from scaling her passive.
Yeah, did pick up that first one, so they're definitely going to be looking to get that second dragon, trying to transition some of their early power here on the Malzahar, Shyvana, into some objectives. So crucially, the bot lane CS gap has all but diminished as Garen and Yuumi were able to catch right back up there and farm. Cannon minion going wide for Tucker there. It's going to really hurt on that one as this Yuumi poke also starting to really hurt. The binding goes wide. So unfortunately, we talked about this being so free to hit these bindings onto the members of Ocean's bot lane, but we haven't seen really all that many land.
Yeah, honestly, MK Heat just looking a little shaky here. He really needs to just throw that Q as the Garen's just charging straight at them.
Yeah, he's kind of trying, to predict it.
Hit point blank.
He's throwing it a little early, so if he just waits a little bit, he can, when the Garen picks the direction he wants to run in, he can throw it out. But throwing it early, Garen can just walk around it and just run straight at you. Dragon coming up shortly as Vasta Stampede, still clearing his jungle camps, is behind in farm. So the Shyvana now on Hot Soup 5 is going to be a point of power. Having those Sork Pen boots is going to start doing a lot of damage now, as there isn't really any magic resist completed at all for the side of Ocean.
Yeah, we did see that Mouse Mazing actually picked up 2 of those kills, being able to rotate down, and now he's going to be looking for a TL Phoenix. Fortunately, binding goes wide, and he just clears the pink ward.
Oh, these bindings, MK Heat's going to really have to start landing these, or it's going to get pretty tough. Worthy Dust really not where he wants to be. Pretty far away from the Garen there. If the net would have landed, that might have been a dead Yuumi, but Garen now with Silas roaming down. Hatsu 5 in a pretty bad spot. The binding does land there, but he's going to get stunned up and killed before he's able to get out, and just unfortunately roamed down instead of walking back up into his jungle and got pinched. And now Ocean picking up a quick kill there, should be able to take this dragon.
Yeah, he was just looking to ult over the wall to get away, but the Garen Q silenced him, and he couldn't really go anywhere after that.
Yeah, he shouldn't have even been there. That pathing was
not.
highly suspect, especially when you are so strong at this point in the game. You want to be able to be alive for these objectives that your team's going to need. They can go for this Ocean Soul. Having 3 Oceans is obviously better than just having 2, so maybe that was the big brain play they were going for there. But
I mean, always feels good when you get your own soul.
Yeah, you're gonna want that. Red Bandman actually taking a few tower shots here, but Hey Dude 5, pretty don't think he could have got the ultimate off there to root him under the tower.
Yeah, definitely not. No! Now we see the Garen in a spot where we never expected him to be, right? 2-0-2 and 20 CS above the scaling. Tucker and MK Heat not looking as strong as we hyped him up to be right now.
Yeah, unfortunate. I mean, this is a lane that really you should have no problem winning as a Caitlyn Morgana, but if you're just not able to execute in those high pressure situations where the Garen's running at your face, then he's going to be able to do what he wants to do. So that one denial that they had with the Morgana binding just a few too many times you saw it go a little bit wide, and unfortunately now the Garen's at the point where he doesn't really care about that matchup anymore. He can start impacting other parts of the map, fighting around objectives, and the lane's not going to be too tough for him anymore.
And granted, you have 3 kind of denials, right? Because you can throw the Kate traps down in front of you as the Garen's running at you, so it buys you a little bit of time. You have the net to get away as well, and you also have the black shield to just avoid the Yuumi snare and the slows. And all of those things have just not been working for them.
Yeah, pretty unfortunate now as we see a Garen go in again, gets the flash down, the flash in response from Tucker as the black shield was on him. Probably could have saved that one, wasn't going to be getting CC'd really anytime soon, and the binding was still available from MK Heat, so maybe just not enough confidence in that one landing there for his teammate. But HeyDude5 going to go in onto Rubber Bandman up here in the top lane. The ultimate's going to go down. Shyvana will knock him back. Has the red buff. The slows are going to be applied, and that's so much damage coming out from Shyvana. Going to be a kill on Rubber Bandman with a shutdown. So that's Shyvana with a good amount of gold now. About 800 gold over his lane opponent in Vash the Stampede. So really going to be a point for Sentinels to take advantage of how strong they are in the mid and jungle right now and play around that, because that's going to have to be their win condition.
Yeah, and honestly, that's kind of where they want their goal to be right now. Shyvana's getting pretty big, and they also have a pretty huge lead on this Malzahar. So this jungle mid duo can absolutely pop anybody they catch out. We'll have to see if they try to make plays around this. Right now, it looks like they're going for the Rift Herald. They're going to be using this one. I'm very curious which lane they decide to use it on. I hope they go mid lane with it, just to allow for Mouse Amazing to roam around with his Malzahar and try to make some picks.
Uh-oh. Oh, the slow lands on the Tucker, has no flash available. MK Heat has to flash out as well, gets smited down by Vax the Stampede. Tucker popping the heal, but just going to get Malzahar ulted.
No.
And then Garen ulted right under his own tower. 2 quick kills for the side of Ocean as Tucker and MK Heat are sitting on gray screens.
Yeah, and the Malzahar ult, just the cherry on top. I don't think anybody expected Sylas to have that. I definitely wasn't watching it. And honestly, that's such a good ultimate for Sylas to be able to pick up, especially with this Garen Yuumi bot lane.
Oh, it's so strong. Just guaranteeing them getting on top of somebody, and applying all the damage as Rubber Bandman doing a lot of damage in the top lane. The Herald was popped mid. I don't think it actually secured the tower. Oh, it did. Okay, so 1 tower apiece for these teams now.
Which is good, but now the Garen Yuumi is free to just roam wherever they want.
And Shyvana having an ult and flash. Yeah, Hatsu5's going to have to be a little careful because they saw the 3 members there from Ocean walk up that direction, and then Hatsu5 still walking down into the river. There were 2 pink wards there that spotted them, so really not sure what he was trying to gain with that. Maybe thinking they could take a fight with him feeling pretty strong, but that Garen Yuumi is ridiculously strong right now, so I don't think that's where who you want to be fighting against.
Yeah, and Garen just finished up his Triforce, so it's going to be putting out tons of damage in these team fights. And honestly, if Tucker and MK Heat couldn't handle putting down their CC together in lane, I don't think they're going to be able to do it when it comes to these later game Dragon and Baron fights.
All right, hear me out. In lane, there was really only 1 champion to hit with the Morgana Q. If you're bowling, Eric, if there's more bowling pins when you roll the bowling ball down the lane, it's easier to hit one of them. So if they're in one of these clumped up team fights against Ocean's comp, who are all pretty close range, they're going to have to be close together. I would think a binding would be more likely to land.
I mean, I guess. But you're really aiming for that Garen, right?
Yeah.
In bowling, you want to hit that front pin that's going to be charging at you. If Garen gets on top of any of these carries, they're just dead.
Speaking of that, Mouse Amazing exhausted, gets stunned up, does have to flash out. Sylas doesn't have much available, but the Urgot ult was on him the entire time. Gets taken out, executed by Rubber Bandman. Didn't even realize he was hit by that one during that whole time, and now Ocean going for their namesake Dragon. Vash having that Maokai ultimate to deter any sort of re-engage from Sentinels. Yeah, it looked like they did go in now, and they have that Maokai ultimate coming. Nico Root does land onto 2. Will take out MK Heat. Almost one shot by that Nico ultimate, and Mouse Amazing just in a bad spot. The Dragon was already down. There's no reason to be there at all if you're Sentinels. And honestly, just bleeding out on the map now. What was a close game even just a couple minutes ago, and now it's ballooned into a 3,000 and some change gold lead for Ocean Drake.
That's the type of mistake right there that turns the game from pretty close to, oh, it's definitely over. It just, there's no need to stay right there. You lost the fight, you're giving over one dragon, that's okay.
And now we're doing it again, Ted, here in the bot lane. We're losing the tower, but we want to step forward to get a silence or a malefic visions onto someone who's not going to die anyway. And now Hey Dude 5 coming into the back end. This is the sunk cost fallacy where they're thinking we're losing so much we have to run in and grab something. But realistically speaking, that was never going to happen if you're Sentinels at this point in the game with the item thresholds that your champions are on. Ocean is miles ahead, so you have to just sit back and farm, and the more you bleed kills out like that, the harder it's going to be for you to actually come back into this game.
Yeah, and honestly, now the game is just Oceans to control. They have 2 dragons, they have 3 turrets taken already, their gold lead's about 5k. There's not much that Sentinels are going to be able to do to come back in this, I think. Just because the front line with the Garen and Urgot is going to be so oppressive. And the Yuumi heals are just going to be absolutely insane the later and later this game goes. Especially having the Ocean Drakes.
Yeah, Silas with an Ocean, with a couple Ocean Drakes, and then with the Yuumi on top of him, on top of the Kingslayer, is never going to die. That is a ridiculous amount of healing for the Silas. And we talk about the Garen, but we have to think about the Urgot and the Silas as well with the amount of sustain they're going to have in these fights. Urgot going towards Death Dance. Silas already having innate healing in his kit. What can Sentinels do to break down this front line? Because they don't have a split push option. They could send Mouse Mazing to split push, but then that's really their only member who's super ahead.
It looks like they're going to death push this. I don't think that Scry's Bloom saw them in this bush, so they might be able to catch someone out.
Yeah, the Ocean has no vision on them right now. Sentinels don't really see anything on the map either, though. They see Garen in the top lane, but not much else. And we see Silas and Nico kind of walking over here, maybe a little suspicious, but they step out a little too early. They might have been able to catch something, but no. Don't know where the rest of the members are. Nico and Urgot actually pretty far, so Ocean looking to disengage this one. Their teleport is coming in.
Oh my god, that
so
Garen
much damage from Garen onto Mouse Mazing, onto MK Heat, and onto the rest of the team. Jmu is still alive somehow. The Yuumi healing is insane, and that will be an ace for Ocean Drake onto Sentinels, trying to get the death push, but not being patient enough and just getting hard punished.
That feels so bad if you're a Sentinel. You get a 3v5, what's looking like a favorable fight. You catch out the Silas with the binding, and then you just can't step forward because Garen is already so far ahead. He just jumps on top of you and spins to win.
Oh,
They're not even going for the Baron with that ace. They're just going to be taking more towers, getting their gold lead up. They're just going to brute force down Sentinel's turrets.
Yeah, I'd like to see them maybe take this mid-outer, and then look to the Baron to finish off the game, because I mean, having such a close range team, it actually is pretty hard to get onto these base towers without something like the Baron buff to help you out. So I would assume that Ocean is going to maybe look for a reset, maybe try to push in mid, and then look towards the Baron.
And one thing we also haven't mentioned yet is you definitely need healing reduction on the side of Sentinels, and nobody's built it so far. It's 800 gold for the Caitlyn. Definitely should have picked that up second item.
Yeah, it doesn't look like that's what Shyvana's going for either. Has the Needless and the Blasting Wand. Not really sure what we're going for with those two items. Maybe just trying to get as much AP as possible right now, just to kind of try to find something in these fights. But
it's going to be a death cap into a Void Staff. We're looking for picks again. The Yuumi being able to heal up most of what damage the Malzahar is potent there. And this third dragon, Sentinels are set up for it, but unless they can get a good trap set up and be able to stop this Garen from running at him, they're not really going to have a chance to actually contest this.
Yeah, and I like what Phoenix has opted to do here. Has the Oblivion Orb and just sitting on the Blasting Wand. Was sitting on the Oblivion Orb for a little while, I think, giving him that flat penetration, which is so good against teams like we see for Sentinels here, who really can't efficiently itemize magic resist right now, as Phoenix is the only source of magic damage, aside from Yuumi. But most teams aren't going to build magic resist just for a Yuumi and something else, so we see mostly armor going the way of Sentinels, if any resistances at all. So Phoenix going to start slapping as the Maokai ultimate's traded, but Vash's Maokai ultimate going to be zoning the team as Hatsu, Heydude 5 trying to go in, Hatsu 5 trying to go in as well, but his Chunk's so low just from the Nico ultimate will end up taking Phoenix down. As the Urgot ultimate comes through, just so much damage coming down from this Garen, from this Urgot, as Mouse Mazing has to watch on as the rest of his team dies and Ocean pushes straight up mid lane.
Yeah, and the Bershon just in full effect right now, washing over their opponents. There's not much Sentinels can do after falling so far behind, and they're trying to take fights, but unfortunately, they're just getting run over. There's not much else to say about it. Ocean just played this game pretty well.
Not gonna
Honestly,
lie,
yeah.
Ted, when I was talking about Phoenix's Morellonomicon purchase, I totally forgot that Vash was playing Silas. But they still haven't built any magic resist, so it's still a good purchase, Phoenix. You're doing it. He's still doing a good job.
I don't know. At this point, I feel like they can just build whatever they want.
Yeah, I mean, they're massively. They have a 10k gold lead at 25 minutes. Shyvana does finally pick up that Morellonomicon, which we were talking about, some anti-healing, but I mean, it's almost too little too late at this point. With the amount of items that Ocean has on their carries right now, and the gold leads, we can take a look here. About 1,000 in the jungle. Mid lane's pretty even because, honestly, Mouse Mazing has been playing pretty well this game as far as being able to get advantages. We see about a 3,000 gold lead in the bot lane for the Garen, and then the Urgot just almost a 4,000 gold lead in the top lane. So, I mean, these fights are going to have to come down to large mistakes from Ocean Drake for Sentinels to be able to pull something out, and that's going to have to happen multiple times.
Yeah, and I mean, gotta hand it to Ocean, right? They've just been playing it super well. 10k gold lead at 26 minutes is super sizable. And it looks like Sentinels are going for another Death Brush, and they get out of the silence. They're gonna be able to get it, but the Zonias.
That Zonias was so good, and gets the Kingslayer right afterwards, goes straight back in. Vatsistan Pete playing that fight phenomenally. Hatsup having a flash out now, but gonna get ran down by this Garen Yuumi. And I don't think they even have to take the Baron, Ted. They can run straight up mid here. Phoenix catching the wave. Top lane, yeah, the wave's already there. Choosing to run to that one as the Cannon Minion's already there, getting teleported to now by Phoenix. And gonna take the inhibitor. I think they can look to just straight up end here, too.
There still is 20 seconds left, and these champions do a good amount of damage to towers. So, yeah, I think this might just be the game. Ocean are definitely calling for it right now.
Yeah, just melting these towers. Really nothing that MK Heat or Tuck are going to be able to do on spawn. Urgot actually taken pretty low there, but doesn't end up falling to the Nexus. And GG, Ocean takes game one in dominating fashion.
Yeah, 27 kills to 6. They just started their snowball early. We did see a couple of good fights early on that kind of swung to Sentinel's ways, but I think that was more just Ocean making a couple of goofs. And this Caitlyn Morgana, we thought it was going to be really good in the Garen Yuumi, but they ended up just getting rolled over, not being able to put out enough pressure early on.
Yeah, and it was unfortunate because that is something that we expected to see, right? Was into like a lane like Garen Yuumi, something like Caitlyn Morgana seems like it's going to be really good. And I mean, as Briggsworth pointed out earlier in the chat, Garen Yuumi is the type of lane that you feel like should lose, but it never does. Feels bad, man. But Sentinels showed some signs of life. They had some good rotations where they picked up some kills. The kill score was tied for a good amount until one of those big fights. I think it was in the bottom side jungle. But yeah, I mean, not all is lost. They got another game to play. So I'd like to see Sentinels take one back here and make the series 1-1.
Yeah, I think everybody would like to see that at this point. Sentinels are pretty much on their last breath right now. They need to start picking up games in order to make it into playoffs. So if they can't take it off the third and fourth place teams, it's not really looking hopeful for them.
Yeah. Well, we'll send it to a quick break here, get the lobby made, and we'll see you guys in a bit. All right. Welcome back, guys. It is I, still Sable, still here, joined by Darth Ted, going into Game 2 now for Ocean Sentinels. Just getting the lobby ready. And Ted, what did you think about that Game 1?
I think Sentinels had a good idea. I would have preferred if the Shyvana went for more of an 80 type tank style, but they had a game plan. They tried to execute it, and they just did not. And Ocean took full advantage of it. I feel like the failing was really in the bot lane. This Garen should not have been able to snowball that far ahead. Caitlyn Morgana is a very oppressive lane. You just can wait for the Garen to run straight at you and hit him when he's close range instead of looking for a lot of those longer range Morgana Qs. Like you can let the Caitlyn poke him down. You just, as the Morgana, need to be utility, right? So I just feel like their failing was there. And then once Garen Yumi starts snowballing, it's really, really hard to stop it because they can just run straight at your face.
That's very true. I mean, after Garen picked up those couple kills there in the bot lane, it just kind of seemed like there was nothing more that the Caitlyn Morgana were going to be able to do. They sent it immediately. Okay, so we're at
nope, someone dodged.
All right, so they sent it immediately. I think it might have been a mistake. I'm not sure. I'm not sure.
Somebody needs to get reinvited. Vash does.
Okay. Were they even in the right? They weren't even on the. Were they? Yeah, they weren't even in the right order.
Yeah. And Ocean's going to be subbing out their top laner.
Yeah, it looks like we have crack variety.
Crack variety.
I love it. I love that guy. He was on my team last season. Definitely a really solid player.
Yeah, and he was a substitute for my team up till week 4. Very good guy. He plays a lot of different champions. I guess he does play the Urgot, but he's known a lot for his Aatrox.
And his Nautilus.
His Nautilus, yeah. So I have to see what he's going to be pulling out here. But I like it. Ocean bringing the flex. And now they can probably flex Garen to both 80 carry, top, and mid.
Yeah,
depending on who wants to run it. Hey. Just going to give him the old R.
Yep. They said 1 second. So we're going to be waiting here. So what do we want to see out of Sentinels here to kind of try to convert a win here for Game 2? Because it's looking bleak for them this season.
So Sentinels last season and the season before got a lot of wins when they were playing this kind of Hecarim snowball-y comp where they would do the Taric Sona and have, Mouse Amazing on something that's super aggressive and can split push, then having Hatsu 5 on the Hecarim. Having Mouse Amazing in the mid, I don't think you want him on Hecarim, so you can still do that with Hatsu 5 and then play something like Taric and Ashe just to pull a little bit of utility in that bot lane, or maybe even Ashe Leona, just to have that go button. But their team comps, when they looked good, were a lot like Ocean's team comp last game. They're very much group up as 5 and run it straight down. And if anybody's there, we kill them. So we really need to see something like that because this straight up front to back team fighting style that they've been doing has not been working.
So
I also kind of want to see, I want to see Mouse Amazing on something aggressive. Some assassins, right?
Yeah.
Not the Malzahar pick. Because, you're going to out farm, but you need to carry. And I don't think you're going to do that on Malzahar.
You want him to roam and get kills, ideally. You want him to be impacting the side lanes with a pick that he can take out here, as they do ban CLG where they just thresh away again. I don't think too much is going to change here in the ban phase for either of these teams. So what kind of picks here do we think Mouse Amazing might be able to pull out to get kind of that roaming carry potential? The first one that comes to mind for me is something like a Twisted Fate or a Fizz.
Yeah, the Fizz I think would be really good, especially into some of the picks that TL Phoenix has. But again, Tucker plays that, right? I don't know if Mouse Amazing does. I don't really know Mouse Amazing's champ pool as a mid laner. I think the Silas could be also very strong for him, though. Ocean, I'm not sure if they're actually going to change anything up or if they're just going to try to run it back, the same team comp.
Oh god.
Honestly, I think they're using these games as more of a, I don't want to say practice, but a more of a flex to just be able to run different team comps, right? You know you're the stronger team coming into it, so they're probably just going to play more comfort picks and just, or not comfort picks, the opposite of comfort picks, just random stuff.
They're experimenting. They're going in the lab right now. They're teching some stuff. They want to figure out what works, what doesn't. On game day environment, a little bit of a dicey place to try, but we've always known Ocean to try out these dicey drafts on game day. As Sentinels might be listening to the stream, they take that Ashe.
Yeah, I mean, we haven't seen Tucker on it, but we saw the Caitlyn ended up having about 200 CS at the end of the game, the most in the game. So I'm assuming he's going to be competent on the Ashe. And we see a Nico pickup as well. Most likely go into that mid lane pool, but could be flexed to Jmu. And the Ornn pickup. I wanted to see crack variety on something more spicy, but hey, Ornn works.
Hey, Ornn could be a flex to the support or the jungle as well, or mid lane even.
That's true.
So you never know with Ocean what they're going to do, as we see pretty standard group up and fight comp now from Sentinels with the Zac Orianna combo, with the long range CC from the Ashe. So I'm liking what I'm seeing out of them so far with this draft.
Yeah, and Ori, if you can get 2 or 3 items on her and hit a 5-man ultimate, can very much change the pace of the game. And then we see some comfort coming back. The Trundle being picked up for Vash's Stampede, so no Ornn jungle for all you guys out there.
Yeah, could still be an Ornn support, could be a Trundle support, Darth Ted. We don't know.
Could be a Nico support too. Yeah,
there's not enough information.
Right, we don't know.
No, but yeah, we got to assume it's going to be the Old Faithful in the jungle for Vash with that Trundle pick as the set taken away, which honestly would have been really good against that team with the Orianna as well coming out of the top lane for Hey Dude 5. They're going to have to choose what they ban here. I would assume they target the bot lane pool. We'll take the Leona away.
Yeah, I think Hey Dude 5 is most likely going to go back to the Maokai into Ornn. It wasn't a bad pickup. It did pretty well into the Got fell behind a little bit in CS, but that's to be expected with the Elo matchup. And he did well, or as well as he could, with how far his team was behind.
Yeah, a lot of the mistakes weren't really champion specific. They were just walking to the wrong place at the wrong time. So the ability to press the buttons on the champions is there for Sentinels. So they just have to make sure they're cleaning up some of these macro mistakes. Because we saw a lot of that in the previous game, where we would walk to an objective after it's already been secured by the enemy team. We would overstay under an objective that we know is going to be lost, instead of just pushing the waves out, and the Yumi's there again.
Oh no!
So
the Garen's still alive. We could see it as the takeaway pickup for Hey Dude 5 if he wants to play into the top lane into Ornn. That's actually a pretty good matchup for the Garen, I think.
No, Ornn slaps Garen.
I was trying to hope.
He beats up on most melee champions. Ornn is an assassin. He is a tank. He's a bruiser.
Hey, there it is.
He's a caster. Ornn is everything. And there's the Garen, though. So, I mean, we'll have to see how that goes. Honestly, not as easy a matchup for the Garen as Garen might think. Garen thinks he's the melee versus melee bully, but Ornn coming through and telling him no. Zyra taking with Ashe is actually a pretty strong bot lane.
Yeah, and Ezreal Yuumi is also a very strong bot lane. Jmu knows how to play the Ezreal really well, so it's going to be a lot of poke coming out of this. Both lanes are very long range, though, so it's about who can hit their CC.
Yeah, and honestly, I like the Zyra Ashe much better here, specifically because we have Hot Soup 5 on the Zac in the jungle. If we land one CC or even a slow from the Ashe, preferably a root from the Zyra, that's so easy to follow up with that long-range gank presence from the Zac with his elastic slingshot. Onto champions like Ezreal and Yuumi are a little slippery, so they're going to have to chain that from the lane first and follow up with the jungle. But if they're able to do that, they're slippery, but they're very squishy.
Yeah, indeed. And I do like having Tucker on the Zyra and MK Heat on the Ashe. I mean, MK Heat has shown
that's what we're doing.
Yeah, a little more comfortable on the Ashe. And Tucker, as a mid lane player, is used to these mages. So being able to not worry about farm and just hitting your poke and CC is a little bit easier. So I wanna see Sentinels pop off in this game.
I do too, man. I know I promised you I would shave my beard as well and just rock the stash, but I totally forgot. So my apologies for that one.
I don't think you ever made that promise.
Would have been some synergy. Yeah, I promised. Remember, I texted you and I said, Eric, I promise I'm gonna shave my beard
Oh yeah,
and do the double
definitely.
stash.
Yeah. Pickle Pop earlier called us out for having caterpillars on our faces, saying those belong to be outside.
That's funny. Well, guess what? We're not allowed to go outside, Pickle Popper, so we're trying to keep everybody safe. Okay? This is a responsible stream.
Yeah. But this is going back to the team comps. Ocean, this is what I expected them to have, right? A very front to back style team comp. You have the control mage with the Nico, the Ezreal Yumi for poke, and that late game insane damage and healing. And you got Basha Stampede and Crack Variety just doing that front line. It's going to be pretty hard and straight up front to back for the side of Sentinels, I feel.
I mean, if we look at Sentinel's team comp, their comp is pretty good in a front to back team fight as well, right? You have the Zac Oriana for a straight up engage, and there's really no backline access for Ocean Drake. How they can't really get on top of the Zyra Ashe, where the advantage for Sentinels is they have the Zac Oriana to be able to get that backline access. They have the long range CC from the Ashe to be able to lock somebody down and engage from long range. So, I mean, realistically, Ocean's comp trying to walk into Sentinels with the Zyra, with the Oriana, with the Ashe is going to be so much more threatening than it is for Sentinels to try to walk up to find fights onto Ocean, with the exception being the ability for the Ornn ultimate to just tear through like Oriana, Zyra, and Ashe and just create an opportunity for the Nico to actually get some CC off, because she's going to need some initial CC to be able to combo her abilities. But I like the Zyra and the Ashe for preventing them from just straight up walking in.
The key word there is being able to walk up upon, right? I guess words or phrase. That's the key phrase there, I should have said. I think the issue with it is going to be that Ocean's going to have a control over this game, right? We saw him do it last game. They took some early fights. Dash on the Trundle can really set his laners ahead. And once they get to the objectives first, it's going to be really, really hard for Sentinels to actually get in on top of them, because the Nico and the Ornn and the Trundle can put out a lot of zone control. So I think it's just going to be a straight up Ocean being able to control the map and get these early objectives like the dragons and be able to snowball into a Baron. I think we're going to see a kind of a low kill game, but a very clean one from Ocean.
I want to see the chat. I want to see ones in the chat for a low kill game and twos in the chat for a high kill game. What do we think we're going to see? I think we're going to see a lot of action here, Ted. I think it looks like it should be a low kill game, but knowing these two teams and how much they fought last game, I think we're going to see an absolute bloodbath. We saw so many tower dives for no reason, people overstaying in objectives and stuff, and everybody kind of getting caught out and just constant fighting. I'm looking forward to it.
Mr. Neat saying Ocean gets 22 kills and Sentinels getting 13. But who wins the game, Mr. Neat?
No, that doesn't matter. He's just calling the number of kills. He's
just
not
the kills.
He's not going all in on the bet.
Yumi is such a dumb champ. I do not like her at all. But Jmu actually going for the exhaust, letting the Yumi bring the heal ignite.
Yeah, which honestly, if I was Jmu in this situation, I would have just went for a teleport to be able to control the lane state a little bit more. Having triple teleport in your team is also obviously always insane. And Ezreal can afford to take a teleport, being in lane with a Yumi, and just being Ezreal isn't going to be under too much threat.
Yeah, I think it'd be more spicy if the Ezreal took ignite and the Yumi went exhaust. That's where you really want your kills, onto the Ezreal.
Yeah,
you get a tier within the first 3 minutes, you're feeling real good on Ezreal.
I mean, fair. And we're getting into game here. We're feeling good. We're ready for game 2. Ocean versus Sentinels. See if Sentinels can pick up a win here. I don't believe they're winless. They've won, I think, 1 game, right?
Also, getting some information from Nolark, the top lane extraordinaire,
Garen should
saying
beat
that Garen should be able to beat the Ornn in lane pretty easily, just because the speed up on your Q allows you to dodge a lot of what Ornn's going to be trying to do.
30 seconds until minions
So we'll have to see if Heydude 5 can play this matchup well.
Yeah, it definitely seems like it's going to be a skill matchup. If Ornn just waits to use his combos until Garen's already used the Q to try to go in, going to be a little easier to guarantee that one. You like that? That's the second one
Yeah.
I've gotten off here. We got to keep a counter.
Of the obvious puns you can make.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, we'll do that. 2 so far.
Ocean will win. Jamu only gets 5 kills. Vash gets 8. Phoenix gets 6. And Cracked gets 3. That is very specific. I thought he wasn't going to go ultra specific on this bet, but he just went all in. So this really just lowered the percentage chance of that one, but at least we didn't bet anything.
Okay, that's interesting because I see Yumi with Ignite, and I know she's getting at least a couple.
Yeah, we're not giving any
Yeah,
no kills to
Yumi's going to get
does.
some kills, so I think that bet's just wrong, Mr. Neat.
Well, it's already
you
in the
are a
chat.
doctor and I'm not, so...
Ooh, does Zach get the red buff? Oh, he got the red buff. It looked like the Zyra plants were going to take it for a second.
Yeah, he stopped clearing it just so the Zyra plants could die off. Smart from him. But not seeing much changes. Both junglers starting on the bot side. A little bit of good poke coming out from MK Heat, but it's just going to get healed up by the Yumi. In the top lane, looks like Heydude 5's getting the better of some of these trades already, forcing Crack Variety to use one of those prepping pots.
Yeah, nice brittle proc there from Crack Variety. It is going to be sustaining back up with these pots. We'll have the potion advantage. Garen only having the 1 health pot left. Crack Variety has 2 left. Just hitting level 2 now. Going to walk back into the spin. Actually trades a lot of damage back onto Heydude 5, who's already burned his 1 potion. Crack Variety still having the 2 corrupting pots available, so going to be a lot healthier in this matchup now.
Yeah, Dorn's Shield does provide a lot of that sustain, though. So it's not going to be the worst. Dash the Stampede going out for a 3 camp clear, ending up on its top side. And is looking for this Orianna right here. Zach does come in. Hits the stun up, but TL Phoenix is going to be there as well. Vash Stampede just going on to
There's so much damage down with that red buff, too, on the mouse. Amazing.
Nothing else going to happen, though.
No,
And also, no summoners blown, so just good placement from both junglers.
yeah, and Crack just getting chunked so hard in these trades here in the top lane. Unfortunately, not able to walk away from the Garen when he's charging the Q. So gonna have to take a recall here. It looks like maybe just wait under tower. As we see double trundles in the river.
Yeah, the Scuttle Crab stands no chance against this Ocean team. Honestly, what do you think about Trundle's clear versus Hot Soups? Because Hot Soup 5 did get 3 clears on the spot side and the top side Scuttle, and is able to clear. It just feels like it's more productive.
So Vash has been ganking a good amount more. That chain CC actually landing there in the mid lane. One more auto's going to do it. First blood for Vash's Stampede. Right when we're talking about him, able to convert a gank. Is down on the CS, but has put a lot more pressure on this mid lane. As Hot Soup 5 just going to his wolves. Probably going to take that Grump as well. TP coming through for the mid lane from Mouse Amazing, but sick gank by Vash.
Yeah, and honestly, a little bit greedy there from Mouse Amazing, not respecting the Trundle at all. Could have easily flashed away and not gotten rooted up by Nico. Chooses not to do it, and he pays for first blood.
Yeah, maybe his thought was the jungler's going to get this one. I don't want to just get repeat camped over and over again. I'm going to save the flash. So maybe they won't be coming back to my lane over and over again. And MWCW709, thanks for the follow. Welcome to the Rekt League. As trade in the top lane again goes the way of the Garen. So Heydude 5 hitting level 5 now with Crack Variety only on level 3 still. Chose not to teleport back to the lane after the recall. So missed a lot of XP.
Yeah, but saving that TP in a team setting like this is really, really strong. Just because you know you're probably going to be looking for these early first dragons. And the first one being Infernal spawning onto the Rift, which is probably the best dragon to grab as a one-off.
Yeah, honestly, that or any of the percent scaling ones like the Mountain as well. Pretty good as one-offs, as a nice dodge by Jmu to get away from that root, but the plant's still doing a lot of damage to Yuumi. Really just not going to be feeling too scared though, as they're able to chunk out the bottom lane for Sentinels pretty heavily.
Yeah, and honestly, I don't like what Tucker did right there, just because they have to play so far back because they're poked out, right? And just putting the Q out with 2 plants and forcing the mini wave into Ocean just allows for him to set up a freeze and play safe. Ocean doesn't do that.
Top lane, we got Garen with the silence, hooked back in, and gets the kill. Hey Dude 5 onto the Crack variety. A really nice setup gank by Hot Soup in the top lane to get his top laner a kill. Had to burn the flash to get in there, but all the damage layered down. Getting the kill into that Garen early is super worth.
Yeah, and this Garen matchup's looking better and better for Hey Dude 5. The teleport does get blown by Crack Variety. He might be able to set up a freeze right here if he can hold the wave, but doesn't look like it, which is a little unfortunate for him. And one of the win conditions for Sentinels is having this late game Garen being able to split push across the map and setting up pressure. So getting that snowballing is really, really strong for them.
Yeah, no, that's exactly what they wanted here. The CS is still good for the Crack variety in the top lane. Is going to be able to pick up this wave here. Doing a good job staying even in that department, but the kill pressure now so heavy for this Garen in the top lane, having that ultimate available too.
Oh, that's really funny. Rubber Band Man subscribing with Twitch Prime exactly as Crack Variety dies on stream.
That wasn't planned.
Good timing.
A decent trade by Crack variety back onto Hey Dude 5. With this top lane, we're seeing a lot of fighting. This guy's constantly trading back and forth.
Yeah, and Hey Dude's been missing quite a bit of easy CS to pick up, just not landing some of these last hits. So he should be further ahead than he is with that 1 kill. And a lot of the pressure that he's had. Just a little bit unfortunate.
Yeah, definitely. And I mean, you always have to be worried about Ornn staying ahead in CS, even if he's behind in the lane. Crack variety doesn't really get much off with that combo there. Maybe just trying to push the wave out and look for a recall. Or just look to build some items. But is going to continue to shove this Garen under the tower. Now having a CS lead before Garen picks up that wave. And honestly doing a really good job on the Ornn to stay even in this matchup. Even getting pressured so hard.
Yeah. And we see a blue buff handoff over to TL Phoenix. Looking to stay healthy on the mana pile. Being able to send out all of his abilities, shove out the wave, and still feeling okay in it. Orianna is level 7 and Zac is 6, so they're kind of just posturing around mid lane looking for a long range engage. As you were saying in champs, like that Zac Ori combo is extremely deadly, being able to lock up any target with a lot of CC and damage.
Yeah, I think we're going to see a big fight around this dragon. We have the teleport available on Hey Dude 5. We have the Orianna Zac combo ready to go. Yeah, he's already there.
He just ran down.
He ran straight down. So looking to set up on this one. Zac already is in the pit, starting this one up, and they have full vision control of it. It looks like Ocean's just going to opt to give this one over, knowing the Garen did roam down. Can't really fight on that, not having the teleport on the Ornn, and well played by Sentinels to be able to take that objective, tracking this teleport advantage.
Yeah, and I think we're going to see Vash Stampede run straight towards the Rift Herald right here to trade it, which is smart from him, but I think a little bit slow. Just because Zac could have recalled and could have came straight up after that.
Yeah, as we can see on the map, fortunately for Vash, that did not happen, as Zac only recalling now. Shouldn't really get super punished for this, going for this Herald now, but definitely something to consider is the timing of where the other jungler could be. Oh, another charge missed by Crack Variety, but it's going to be pretty healthy. He's going to pop the Ornn Horn, does hit it, connects with the Brittle proc too. One more auto will do it, and Crack Variety with the kill back onto this Garen. And honestly, being ahead in CS now and going to be ahead a significant amount of gold with these turret plates that he's going to pick up from the Herald. It's going to start to feel like this Garen's advantage is... Oh no!
2 tower shots? 2 tower shots?
He took a lot of tower shots. He's level 9 now. Gonna pick up so much gold, and we're seeing now about a 700 gold lead. Gonna be even more after this turret gets completed for the Ornn. So despite falling behind in this matchup early, now sitting on a 1,000 gold lead for Crack Variety in the top lane, and that's your scaling tank that you really want this gold and levels on to be able to upgrade your team.
Yeah, and Mouse Amazing's teleport did just come up, but honestly, just greedy from Hated 5 to die right there. He just shouldn't have been. I mean, you shouldn't be killed in a 1v1 versus Ornn, especially as a Garen. You have the ability to run away, so he's just been taking a little bit of unfavorable trades, and good on Crack Variety to see his opportunity. And really good timing for Vash being right there with the Rift Herald as well.
Ted, I don't know how often you've played against Ornn, but Ornn has the 1v1 power of like a Talon.
Yeah,
that
but
champion fucks.
He's got burst, man. That's all. If
That's
you're
what
half
it
health,
is.
you just back out. Yeah, right, but you're a Garen. You should be able to stay healthy in this lane.
It's fair. Didn't respect the Ornn damage, and there is Ornn damage for sure. Crack already demonstrated that one in the top lane. Just absolutely slapping Hated 5 for that solo kill, and I don't really think he has too much to be worried about right now in this game.
Yep, and we see a Trundle running out.
Flash.
Nico going into the
Root going down, and the tower aggro onto Tucker as well. So unfortunate. Still caught under that tower. Probably would have been a kill anyway. Phoenix.
Ping spams being thrown at Phoenix for that play.
Absolutely hilarious. Just randomly ran bot with the flash ult. I wouldn't have expected that.
No. I mean, those are from his own team. I think that was like a good job kind of thing. But Mouse Amazing sitting on top of a ward right here. Kind of, yeah, just allowing for Zach to just get the scuttle grab. Little interesting play. But now Crack Variety is putting a lot of hurt onto Hated 5,
he
having
is
that
smacking.
Sunfire completed.
And the Garen going for Black Cleaver first item while having an Orianna, Zac, and a Zyra on his team does kind of summon the question mark pains of why are you shredding the armor of the enemy team instead of just going for more survivability or just more straight up damage. The armor shred really only going to benefit himself and the Ashe, who is already super behind, and going to be doing % health damage anyway with the hopefully Blade of the Rune King pickup eventually.
I'm also a little curious to have this Ashe build, going for the recursive bow and the BF sword.
Well, if we're keeping up on our TFT knowledge, that will be the Giant Slayer.
Right.
Does % health damage.
In this game, I don't think that builds into anything.
Yeah, I don't think it builds into the Giant Slayer. Can't confirm. Maybe we can get a sickly in the chat here. As you see Ezreal hop the wall, getting away from that Zac gank is in pure Ezreal fashion, just jumping straight over a wall.
Yep, never mind. Nothing gonna happen. Honestly, this early game, we should have seen Hatsu try to play more towards the mid lane matchup. TL Phoenix is on an immobile mid lane carry, although you can, go invisible and send your clone out. But you're Zac Orianna. You should try. Definitely be trying to pressure.
Absolutely bursted out by this Yuumi Ezreal, and Yuumi able to walk forward and get the follow-up route onto MK Heat. One more auto attack's gonna do it, and the auto from Yuumi, I think the ignite actually will take out Tucker. Or MK Heat rather, in that bottom lane. Just so unfortunate, so overextended, and then just the Yuumi ultimate ended up tagging both of them. Well played by Ocean.
And Ocean currently 1-0-1 on pretty much every person right now.
Yeah, Crack
Looking
Variety
real good,
reported
but
for
real
inting for
sad
sure.
if you're Mr. Neat.
Real sad if you're Crack Variety. The only one in your team to die. Everybody else looking so fresh, so clean. You're coming in for the sub spot. The only death.
I don't think they're going to be too upset.
It's going to be some questionable plays by Crack Variety here for sure. Gonna have to reconsider that sub spot.
Nah, he's been playing this lane really well.
He's popping off.
I wouldn't say that.
He is
We'll have to
popping
see.
off.
Popping off as much as an Ornn can pop off, I guess.
Yeah, the solo kill
Currently
is huge.
sitting on level 11, got 3 more before you can hit those upgrades. And as soon as he starts to, the lane's gonna feel even worse for Hated 5.
Yeah, I mean, There's really not any kill pressure now, and I can understand going for the Black Cleaver if you're planning to split push the entire game with the Garen, so you can have at least maybe any kill pressure on the orange shredding that armor that you know he's going to start stacking. We see Pain's going down here, maybe looking for a fight onto the Ornn, but I don't think that's who you're going to be fighting. He's just so tanky.
I think it's okay.
Does
Orianna's
flash out.
in the backside.
Orianna is there, and they actually do take the kill. Didn't see the Orianna sneak in there from behind, and the Garen ultimate will finish that one off. So now 2-1 on the Garen. Well played pinch by Sentinels.
Vash walking into Hey Dude as well.
Yeah, Vash actually getting taken pretty low here as well. Doesn't get pulled back. We'll be able to flash out. Garen's still going under the tower. Trundle ultimate's going to be able to keep Vash pretty healthy here. So, Hey Dude 5 not having the flash now.
Yeah, he actually used the ultimate to
another Yuumi ultimate in bot lane. Does end up getting the kill on MK Heat in the bot lane. As meanwhile, mid lane, Mouse Mazing getting solo killed by TL Phoenix in the mid lane. There's action all over it, Eric. And what did I tell you? This is an action-packed game.
Yeah, but at this point, Ocean is 3K ahead. And 7-2 kills. They have their bot lane absolutely snowballing with this Ezreal Yuumi. And there's no way the Zyra and Ashe can actually stay in lane against them anymore. It just feels a little bad that they just couldn't push this poke advantage they had early on.
Yeah, it's oppressive. And the point of the game now, with where we're at, with basically the entire bottom side of the map for Sentinels, is a very large deficit. If we take a look at the gold here, it's about 600 in the mid lane, 1400 in the bot lane for the 80 carries, and there's really just not much that Sentinels can do to be proactive right now on the map. They kind of just have to sit back and farm and try to scale up, but unfortunately for them, they're going up against a Trundle, a Yuumi, Ezreal. You know, Nika doesn't scale super well, but the Ornn is going to be able to enable a lot of these champions that might not scale as well themselves to just get all these extra stats with the scaling. So you have to be feeling pretty pressured if you're Sentinels to make plays happen here. As they do go in with the Zac, they hit the elastic slingshot. There's no pullback, but that's a lot of damage coming out. Unfortunately, TL Phoenix was already there, flashes forward just to get the Zac blobs now procced, and those should be able to be pretty safe. I don't think they're going to actually be able to clean up Hot Soup 5 before he comes out of this passive here, but they are chasing now into Hey Dude 5, does get rooted up. Ezreal should be able to clean them up. No, Phoenix takes it with the last auto attack as Hot Soup 5 just has to run away.
Yeah, and honestly, a good try on the gank on Ezreal, but he was able to dash away before the Orianna ult actually hit. So, a little bit of mislayering on the CC, and if you can't burst those two people out, I mean, everyone else from Ocean is just going to be able to collapse, and now they have the Rift Herald summon, take one turret, they're going to look for two, and they're just, this snowball is in full effect. The goalie is going to absolutely balloon, and they're looking for a third charge here, actually.
I think they can get it too, Ted. They're going to have the Zyra ultimate might actually take it out. Doesn't actually end up doing much damage here. Oh, they couldn't quite get it. The Orianna does take out the Herald, so don't get the trifecta, or the two-fecta rather. As Crack Variety getting dangerously low, but the Yuumi already there. The ultimate coming down now as well. Ornn ultimate right through the corridor. A good combo by Sentinels, with the damage being layered down, and now they're just chasing the rest of Ocean. Crack Variety, hits the wall actually. Might be able to get chased down now after not getting that much damage from the steering, distance from the steering charge rather. Not having the flash ability, Zac should be able to get right on top of him. And will be taken out by MK Heat. So Sentinels showing some signs of life here. A phenomenal fight in that corridor and a 4-for-0 on the back end of that play.
Yeah, and they're coming back in. And honestly, just a little bit over-aggression from the side of Ocean, thinking that they can try to push for more. Crack Variety did get caught out, and it might be what you said. He's trying out for the team, and he might have wanted everybody else to have a death too, and just baited them all into dying.
He's trying out for the team. He's like, guys, we got this. I know I'm just here subbing in, but we got to respect the call, and let's go for this fight. Unfortunately, it didn't work out. We saw actually a really nice Orianna ultimate there, combo with the rest of the abilities from Sentinels. It was super good.
That's the Sentinels combo right there. So much AoE damage in these small choke points. They just need to be able to set up their fights, and luckily for them, Ocean just walked straight into it.
Yeah, take a look at the vision here on this side of the map from Ocean. They have so much vision in the red side jungle. They're going to really want to start the transitioning this vision up into the Baron side, though, as that objective is spawning. They're not going to really need that down in that red side, as a lot of these wards now are getting replaced. CLG Worthy Dust knowing the call, putting him in the blue side now. and mixing them up. And honestly, Sentinels is going to have to transition their wards as well, because they're all in the bottom half of the map too.
Yeah, and that's just the stage of the game, right? Early on, you're fighting over dragons, and now, since Baron spawned and both teams have pretty good Baron take, you just need to have vision in the top side, like you were saying.
Yeah, I like
Hey,
to
dude,
see.
gonna be face checking. Oh, nope, gets away.
I like that the Ashe went for the Blade of the Ruined King build here, going up against such a beefy front line. It already has a hard enough time sticking to you. The extra ability to kite with the Bork is pretty valuable.
Yeah, but normally when you do this build, you go Blade the Rune King into the Ruined's Hurricane, right? So the BF sword's just gonna be sitting in the inventory for. I mean, it's not a bad item
Giant
to have
Slayer,
that far, but...
Giant Slayer. He's doing the TFT build. Someone has to tell him that it doesn't work like that in Summoner's Rift. But I mean, we have 2 dragons here, 4 Sentinels. If they get one more dragon, they will be on soul point for that Mountain Soul. And honestly, if they get Mountain Soul in this game, with the damage profile that we have coming out from Ocean, it's gonna be a little bit harder for Ocean to actually consistently win these fights. We saw Sentinels turn one around already, so if they can accrue a little bit more advantages for themselves, they're really slowing the pace of the game down here, which I really like from Sentinels. They're not going for these over aggro plays and stuff. They're playing safe. They're sticking together, clearing wards out. They don't want to throw this game off just going for random fights.
And I mean, we still can't count out the amount of damage that Trundle's going to be doing to this front line, right? You do have the ultimate, you have the Blade of the Rune King finished. It's going to be pretty big. They're looking to catch out this Ezreal right here, but he is... Oh, Sentinels are spotted out on that pink ward that was just placed. Really good sniff out from the side of Ocean.
Yeah, I saw them clearing that Baron vision and knew there's really nowhere else they could have went, as they had wards in their blue side entrance. So some nice vision now from Ocean is going to really be spotting most of the members of Sentinels on the map right now, as someone's going to have to respond to that bottom lane.
Yeah, and realistically, that should be the Garen and not the Ashe. So hopefully they don't send a member that does have teleport up.
Well, it looks like they both started running there and then both ran back mid, so I'm not sure who's going to be responding to that wave bot. You really do want to send the Garen here in this situation. There's really no point of him just leeching XP off of this mid lane. Garen or Orianna should be in this side lane. You want to have your lane shoved out so the enemy team doesn't have an advantageous Baron.
Orianna's also a good call because the Ashe Zyra do have enough wave clear to hold mid lane when Ocean decided to push in. But it looks like they're going to be sending the Ashe, and she is down quite a bit of CS, so this will help her snowball a little bit more. And it looks like Sentinels are just going to call Ocean's bluff, saying, hey, you're not starting the Baron. We know this. There's no need for us to face check anything, because you're not going to do it.
Yeah, unfortunately, no blue trinkets available either for the side of Sentinels. So if there was going to be a Baron sneak by Ocean, they would have to walk aggressively far in to get any sort of vision down at all. You want to see the Ashe or the Orianna picking up one of those blue trinkets now. Because of the state of the map and them being about 4,000 gold behind, it's really dangerous for them to walk in and get vision.
And looks like Ocean are just kind of baiting for a fight, and then they're going to turn around and just run towards that dragon and take it.
Yeah, and I think if you are Sentinels here, you really want to fight for this third dragon. You want to put yourselves on soul point. You want Ocean to be nervous about every dragon that spawns after that third one that you take, because that's basically your win condition right now, is trying to get that dragon soul.
And Sentinels are kind of calling this out, and they feel like they can step up here and put in some vision, but they run into a Trundle with Yuumi on them and end up having to back away.
Mousemaze is starting to slap on the Orianna too. He's doing a lot of damage with just the Ludens and the Oblivion Orb on his side. There's not a lot of magic resist being built for really any champion except for the Ornn and the Yuumi. So Mousemaze is going to be slapping pretty hard. And unfortunately, they're not really set up on this dragon. Zyra is not there. So you really want to have the Zyra closer to the pit when this starts so they can't just walk in like that. The teleport does come down from the Ornn. And unfortunately, Hatsu 5 is taken so low. Hey Dude 5 low as well. And Crack Variety already killed Mouse-Mazing. He's out of the fight before he's able to get to use his ultimate. And the second charge of the Ornn Horn doesn't go through. But Crack Variety with a double kill, assassinating that mid laner as MK Heat next to fall. The last one standing, Tucker, as Ocean with the clean fight on the back of the Ornn Assassin onto Mouse-Mazing. Gonna take that Mountain Drake.
Yeah, and Ocean just playing that team fight really well. But Sentinels also not really executing on the comp. They're trying to play this front-to-back team fight where you have Zach engaged with the Orianna ball. But from where they jumped in, the backline just couldn't follow up at all. And they were forced to walk around straight into the Ornn and the Trundle. So it was just really, really poorly executed from Sentinels right now. But it does give over the Mountain Drake to Ocean, which is what they were looking for. And now they're just going to walk over and take up the Baron and balloon this gold lead they had.
Yeah, and I mean, that's just so unfortunate if you're Sentinels. You really wanted that fight. It looked like a decent Zac engage with the Garen being there as well, but honestly didn't end up hitting really anybody important. And like you said, wasn't able to layer with the Orianna because they were just too far off from the start of the fight. They were not in position. They were not set up for the fight properly. And honestly, just a little bit of miscommunication there from Sentinels coming out, just not being prepared for that dragon fight.
Yeah, and I think if you're Sentinels there, you can give the call to give up that Mountain Drake and just pressure the Ornn. You saw him onto the second tier turret. You could have picked him off, gotten a kill. And giving another, or the first Mountain Drake over to Ocean isn't really that bad.
No, yeah, and you could even pressure the Baron, right? Like, in that situation, if you're looking to trade and get something on the map for yourselves, if they're going to run for that Mountain Drake, they didn't really have a lot of vision set up on the Baron. They could have maybe pressured that. As Phoenix getting kind of caught out right now, Ornhorn's going to come through. Garen ultimate not going to finish him off. Still not dead. Phoenix finally falling to the Orianna ultimate as it comes through, but on the back end, Jmu living for so long, doing so much damage, just not able to die in these fights on this Ezreal, spamming the taunt there in the mid lane. You gotta love that, throwing some flair in there. The classic Jmu fashion, as that is 2 down for Sentinels and only traded for Phoenix. Should be able to finish off this tower as well.
And that looked like a really good fight for Sentinels. They got a really good Garen ult. Garen was in the middle of the team with Zac, and then Orianna on the backside hit a 3-man ultimate. But the Ezreal Yuumi at this point is so oppressive. You have that Triforce traded as well. Almost finished with the Blade of the Ruined King, and this Ezreal is at the late game, and you can see the amount of damage he puts out.
Yeah, no matter how much damage he takes, he's honestly just living forever.
Yeah, and Hatsu 5 once again get a little caught out, going a little bit forward.
Phoenix!
You know, Phoenix does get caught out
a nice
by the
Orianna ultimate.
But Jmu able to pick up that kill as well.
Yeah, now Zac bumping Crack Variety back into the tower. Just the Yuumi healing is just so annoying. Going straight back onto the Zyra. Jmu is now godlike, going for the tower dive. Should be able to finish it off. One more Q, gets the move speed from the Yuumi, and the cat takes the kill. Worthy Dust, proving Mr. Neat wrong, picking up kills for himself. 4-1 and 13 on the bloodthirsty support, and it's looking all but over for Sentinels here. Sitting at about 10k deficit at 28 minutes in, and really the win conditions are almost a wash at this point, with you wanting to get that third dragon to maybe get the win condition with the soul. Mountain Drake itself not really being that great of a win condition if we compare it to something like Infernal or Ocean Soul, have a much higher win rate, but it's going to take a miracle for Sentinels to come back in this one. And I feel like we say that a lot, but they get in these deficits where it's looking like desperation coming out from the team.
Yeah, and again, it wasn't the worst fight for them to take. They did pick up a couple of kills. The Orianna ultimate was really, really good. And, I mean, they're making Phoenix look like a little bit of a feeder, but Jmu is just absolutely insane on this Ezreal. He's so safe. 3 items completed. Even has that stopwatch now with the exhaust up, so he's pretty much not going to die in this game again, unless he makes a terrible mistake.
Are you petitioning for a name change request to TL Feeder?
No, I wasn't.
Oh, okay.
That's a pretty good one. Come to think of it, pretty much everyone on TL was a feeder this LCS season.
Honestly.
Another easy tower pickup for Ocean. 1 hit left on that inner. And now they're looking for this inhibitor, but without Baron, there's so much wave clear. But Zac is going to be going in, and I don't think this is the fight you want to take.
Yeah, they're running straight at him, but they just get straight up rooted and taken down. And Hey Dude 5 killed almost immediately as the rest of the team gets the Ezreal ultimate layered across. The Nico ultimate, a little questionable right there for Phoenix. Not sure if he wanted to flash in and got stunned or something, but really don't think it's going to end up mattering here. As the amount of poke coming down from this Yuumi Ezreal, pushing it straight down to the Nexus. Super Minion's already there. should be able to just finish off these Nexus towers. They're 3 inhibitors down, and Ocean with the dominant performance here in Week 5 against Sentinels, really putting a stamp in their place in the standings.
Yeah, and they're just gonna, have a little bit of fun here, clean up some of these extra kills. Never mind, Bash Stampede, just focusing down the Nexus.
Yeah, he had a job and he did it.
Yeah, and I mean, 24 to 9 kills. Mr. Neat, you were super close, but you just didn't expect the Yuumi to pop off and take as many kills. So a little unfortunate there. But
Unlucky.
honestly, very, very well played from Ocean. Just looking super clean.
Well, who do you want to bring in for interviews here?
I'm thinking CLG Worthy Dust. Those
Yeah?
Yuumi picks were super good. He just looked really clean, and the healing on it was absolutely amazing.
Who else are you thinking?
I'll let you pick the last one.
Do we bring in Crack Variety?
Honestly, it's his first game.
Yeah, let's bring him in.
All right.
All right, we got Crack Variety in here. What's going on, guys?
Set record going.
Oops. I think the Zoom just died.
It did just died. That's okay.
Yeah.
We don't need Zoom now.
Nah. Unnecessary. So congratulations on the 2-0. Those games looked really clean.
Thanks, man.
Thank you.
Yeah. Just quick question. In game 2, were you planning on playing Garen Yuumi again, or you just picked the Yuumi debate them picking Garen?
We were planning on playing the Ezreal, so we were just playing the... Because we saw what they were picking, the Orianna, Zac, and we're like, Ezreal's just a pretty safe pick here. And we just played Yuumi with it, because Ezreal and Yumi's still pretty good.
Yeah,
and when we saw them pick the Garen, we were like, we just baited them into the Garen pick.
Yeah, super smart there. 200 IQ play.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you have some fans in the house.
You do?
Oh, yeah.
You get
So-
your friends and family?
Some of them are friends from other Discords.
Can you tell us a little bit about that draft in game 1? Coming into it, I was definitely expecting you to play or pick a comp more like game 2, where it's very front back fight heavy style.
Well, game 1, we were trying to look at picking a Blitz in one of them, but they banned it both times. And we played a Garen Yuumi game, I think once or twice, and we're like, our team comp would kind of like to be kind of beefier, hard to kill. So Garen Yuumi, that's pretty hard to kill.
And were you scared at all going into that lane, seeing the Caitlyn Morgana?
Oh, not really. I don't know. I think I'm pretty good. Jamie's pretty good. We feel like we're pretty good against any lane.
Hell yeah, man. We love the confidence. We'd love to hear it. We were worried for you guys, but after a few minutes in there, I've seen some of the trade patterns and how the lane went. We were a little more worried for the Caitlyn Morgana. The Garen Yuumi looked so impressive from you guys coming out. And then with Crack Variety coming in for game 2, was that something that you guys had planned on the day? Just one top laner one game, then another one the other game?
I guess correct. You want to answer that?
Yeah, I was told that was the plan. Just get my feet wet a little bit.
Yeah.
First game in the season.
Yeah, how
How does it feel playing on your new team?
Yeah.
It's good, man. These are some good dudes. They've been welcoming from get go. They're all pretty chill.
Any comparisons on it being better to your old team or not?
I don't think that's really a question. I think when you have such a feeder jungler that anything would be a step up.
Oh man, that's hilarious. You love to hear it. But talking about the game here in this top lane, with the Ornn falling behind early, were you worried at all about that Garen matchup, or did you know you were going to be able to clap it back like you did?
No, it's Ornn, man. It doesn't matter what happens. You're going to be relevant at every point. So as long as I didn't completely feed, which it looked in the mid-ish game a little like that might happen, getting caught right by their wall, but no, I mean it didn't really matter. Ornn is just always going to be relevant and still do a ton of damage.
That's just big facts.
Yeah. I mean, we had the confidence that we were going to scale up and be a pretty beefy team by 25 minutes and just kind of steamroll the game from there.
Yeah, I mean, it looked like that's what you guys did. You executed the comp to exactly how you needed to do it. Looking really clean on the day. And coming up in the next week, your opponents, I believe, are
Infernal.
Infernal. So
And then Bramble.
how are you feeling going up against Team Infernal next week? Any preliminary thoughts or anything you want to say to the members of Team Infernal that might be listening?
We could say this is a bit scripted. How we have the two biggest opponents at the end of the year, and it's going to be pretty entertaining to watch and see who gets that first round bye. And everybody could choose their own destiny. Can't wait.
Yeah, I'm betting Ocean just end up going 4-0 and taking that first seed spot.
Safe bet.
Yeah, I can't wait for the games.
No spicy trash talk. You guys are keeping it pretty light here. It's respectful, but want to hear some flame.
I said
What?
we're gonna win.
I think we're all pretty good teams. We just have to see what happens on the Rift.
I mean,
Oh, this
Crack Variety
guy.
already called you a feeder, so
I thought he was
there's
referring
not
to
much else.
Sasha. He came from your
Yeah, I
team.
thought he was.
He came
Yeah.
from your team, not mine.
Yeah, but he played
My
last on
team.
your
I was gonna say
No,
I
no,
played
no.
last on yours. Oh
No, let's
no,
keep
that
the
was.
let's keep
let,
the
let me clarify
recency
that.
here.
That was very directed at you, Zabel.
All right. Well, I don't know. There's not enough data. There's not enough data to know. I was already on another team. Too many teams going around here, so we're not sure who he was talking about. But yeah,
Yeah.
so I mean, great to see you play today, man. It was good. It was good. Good getting in here for the interview, and hyped to play you guys next week. You're looking strong.
Yeah,
Hell yeah.
can't wait. Thank you for the interview.
Hell yeah,
Thanks,
brother.
babies.
So with that, unless you guys have any final words, we're gonna send it off. If you're new here, you're watching the Rekt League. Don't forget to like, follow, subscribe. Twitter, YouTube, Twitch at the Rekt League, and stick around. We got another match coming up here at 6 p.m. I believe.
Bramble versus
I
Mountain.
believe Bramble versus Mountain. I believe it's still happening. I know there was some issues with one of the teams fielding a roster, but I believe they figured it out. So don't go anywhere. Stick around. 6 p.m. Bramble versus Mountain, and then 8 p.m. Air Drake versus Infernal Drake. See you guys there.